Velasquez fight took a little bit of heat out of it, but obviously, the more talk about the injuries and stuff with staph and all that stuff, it helps give it some motivation to it.
Yeah. What do you think about Nog since that time? Obviously, he's coming off a real big win, maybe a little bit of vintage form there, but what do you think about him? Difference between now and then.
I think he's pretty much the same fighter. I think that his boxing on his feet is more his strong suit as far as when he's standing. And then I think that jiu-jitsu is a half guard and stuff is probably his stronger positions.
He talks about being a lot healthier now, going through these surgeries and feeling like he's like a 2006 era Nog. Do you see that in the tape that you've watched? Do you feel like he is improving, or do you think that's just kind of a front on his part?
I think he's always going to be very positive. I mean, I think Nogueira, if you look at all those interviews, every camp before the fight was the best camp. Every training session was the best, and he feels the best, and he's back. And then after the fight, we talk about what injuries were happening. So it's hard to really get a fix on that. I do know that, watching the Brendan Schaub fight, he seemed still kind of hobbled and injured. But then he himself said that, he was injured before that, but wasn't ready quite yet, I guess. I forgot what the statement was that fight. But he looked like the same fighter to me, the way he moved his head, the way he moved his hands, his footwork. But I mean, after 40 fights, how much you really going to change?
Is there danger of overlooking a guy like that, somebody that you've beaten before and you don't think has really gotten any better?
Oh, of course, there's always that threat. But I mean, that's one reason why in the gym I really try not to focus on my opponents as much as I focus on myself, on what I need to do and improve. If I take a shot on somebody in the class in practice on Whitehead, and they'll be like, well, that would take Nogueira down, but that wouldn't take down, well, then it's not good enough. It has to take down, if Brock was in there, I wanted to take him down, or Kane, or Carwin, or, I'm trying to beat everybody who's best at what position and beat them, not just, play to the opponent. Because, that's why they get caught by surprise.
Getting a couple wins at the end and criticizing the fight in general afterwards. Even though you got on the winning end, he was kind of hard on both guys. Does that ever make you want to fight a certain kind of fight to give a complete loss to the fans?
Absolutely not. Not even slightly tempted. I want to go out there and fight the best fight possible. Because if you look at the most successful fighters, I don't think they really listen too much. I mean, Georges St. Pierre, he could take more risks, I guess. But then I think that Vasily, who goes out there and wins fights and is very, strategic about how he does it. I'm a fan of it.
Does it ever get difficult to kind of just like steel yourself against that outside criticism style, especially when you're winning?
No, I kind of laugh at it. With the Miracle fight, I saw a little bit afterwards, like, I could have done a little bit more. I think I was a little bit cautious, and I respected Miracle probably more than, not that it's ever a bad thing to respect somebody. I think maybe I was really looking for the old, Miracle. I expected head kicks to come flying and really was watching for it. In the Roy fight, I didn't really see any criticism. I was like, wow, that was a big, tough guy that, I hit him a bunch of times, and I was fatigued in the third round they were talking about. I'm like, so the first two rounds, he fought pretty hard, and it was a little difficult, to pick him up and drop him that many times in a row. So I didn't really, that's why sometimes you listen to criticism, and you're like, but I mean, at the same time, I understand, though. It doesn't upset me. I guess that's why I laugh about it. Dana's a promoter. If I walked out there and got knocked out in 30 seconds and everybody cheered, he's happy. I'm not happy. So I want to go out there and win. So at the same time, he can be upset, or anybody can be upset back and forth, but I don't think we take it personally. I know that Dana, the promoter, is not Dana, the guy. Me, as the fighter that walks into the octagon, I'm out there looking for number one. So much the injury-wise and health, I don't see much of a difference there, to be honest with you. I think, though, is motivation. I think really the true story of the first fight was how he underestimated him. Because if he was really that injured, would you take the fight if you knew the guy you were fighting was going to kill you? Dangerous, tough guy. But if you're injured and you don't think much of your opponent, why not jump into the fight, We've had many fighters say that, against that guy I'll take the fight, but I got to fight that guy? No, I'm injured. My injury's not good enough. So I think really it's just the fact of the matter is he underestimated me the first time. I'm thinking he's not going to do it the second time.